Hey y'all, welcome to Chief Complaint,
Tacky,
and Caffeinated. I'm Jess.
and I'm Britt.
We're two nurse practitioners, moms, wives, and longtime friends who met in nursing school, and somehow we've managed to juggle evolving healthcare, careers, and our home lives.
This is where we talk about the things that don't fit into a 15-minute visit: healthcare, beauty, motherhood, marriage, business, burnout, and whatever else life throws at us.
Two in peace,
Real life.
and fully caffeinated. Hey y'all,
Hey y'all.
welcome to episode 5. What are we doing?
Conspiracies, especially
Conspiracies.
related to medicine.
Medicine-related, health-related conspiracies.
Yes. All right. So first off, we'll start talking about, is Big Pharma hiding cures? What do you think?
I think that's very likely. I do.
I agree.
I think that everybody is looking to get as rich as possible, as fast as possible. And so I think that there's a lot of conflict of interest and a lot of studies done pertaining to Big Pharma.
Okay.
I guess an example being vaccines, right? So information's not always accurately reported. But even when some things are reported, like, I guess example, with the COVID vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
you get the COVID vaccine. There were lots of reports of patients testing positive for COVID within a week of receiving the COVID vaccine.
Mm-hmm. And it was an inactive vaccine, right? Wasn't
That's
active. It wasn't
right.
alive.
Right. It's not
Supposed to be.
alive.
Yeah.
Correct. However, they test positive within a week of getting the vaccine. Well, guess who also owns the approved treatment for COVID positive patients? The same manufacturer of the vaccine that just gave them COVID. I don't know. It's a conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
But you get the vaccine, you test positive for COVID, and then the same manufacturer that makes the vaccine makes the approved treatment for COVID.
Yeah. What a coincidence.
And aside from that, like, another coincidence is the other big side effect of the COVID vaccines was blood clots. So I wonder what the number one blood thinner recommendation is. And guess who the manufacturer for that number one blood thinner is? It's the same one that manufactured the COVID vaccine.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
I mean, it's
Interesting.
definitely something to look at.
Yeah.
This
There's too many
little
connections there.
Yeah, this little revolving door that keeps bringing you back to give this same pharmaceutical company your money.
Yeah.
You pay them for the COVID vaccine, and you pay them for the treatment, and then you pay them for lifelong anticoagulants.
Yeah. The vaccines. And then, university studies that are funded,
Yes.
by big companies.
Yes. And so the funding for the vaccine was funded by the manufacturer. So, of course, it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Of course, they can pick and choose what information they want to include or exclude. It's just something to look at
Yeah.
or consider.
Definitely. Yeah. That's crazy that there's so many connections between that, just around that one thing that changed all of our lives.
Yes.
There's way too many connections within that one pharmaceutical company.
Well, if you want to go a step further, let's go even before COVID, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which you never even thought to look into. They also make another vaccine that we give to patients on their way out the door from the hospital. You have patients at the hospital, you always ask them, like, you're not up to date on your flu or pneumonia vaccine. Do you want to get your pneumonia vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
You give them the pneumonia vaccine. Now, I haven't seen readmissions of, like, people getting the pneumonia vaccine and then coming back a week later for pneumonia.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. But again, coincidentally, the same manufacturer that makes the pneumonia vaccine manufactures the IV antibiotic that's the treatment for pneumonia. So there's a lot of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Right?
Too much of the same hands in the same pot.
Right.
Like, It's huge.
Makes you side eye things a little bit, for sure.
Do you think the government knows? Do you think they have to know what's going on? Like, they have to know that that's a problem when you've got these big pharmaceutical companies getting involved with research studies. Why aren't we doing anything about it, you know?
Yeah. So surely if we see this, you would think the government sees some of it too. And I think they do. And I think that that's kind of why they've had some changes in the CDC and the FDA. And I think they're looking into a lot of these things, you know. But I mean, then you hear about the government leaving chemtrails, but also the government funded the vaccines to be given. So they paid that company billions of dollars for these vaccines that they mandated, that they made everybody get.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know. I can't really speak on the government, but I don't know. It seems like they're looking into things and trying to make some changes. Maybe whether they're extreme or not extreme, I don't know. Either way, government's looking. You got Robert Kennedy in there looking at things.
Yeah, I mean, and we're more aware and we're questioning things. And it's kind of like we're on to something's not right. We're sicker now than we used to be 30 years ago. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like the government has to know something. I mean, the FDA regulates all of this.
Yeah.
And you mean the FDA can, scrutinize compounding pharmacies for compounding a GLP-1 that's affordable, but you have no idea that the same manufacturer controls all of those different things you just talked about? Like, that's not a problem?
Right.
Yeah. I don't understand the priority around that.
Or like you talked to me about, like, the amounts of money they put into the research.
Yeah, $1 to $2 billion for every new medication. That's a lot of money. Do you know what we could do with that in just the medical field? Off of one drug, and you think about the drugs that have come out, and you're like, that caused more harm than good. Like, why didn't we use that money for actual things that are killing people on a daily basis? GLP-1s are helping with our number one killer, cardiovascular, hypertension, strokes. I mean, it's helping with that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Why not put the money into letting patients have
something
that?
That's good. Yeah, bringing the cost down so that everybody can afford it. And it costs so much to be healthy now, I feel like, from different aspects, from the grocery store to, our cost of living, cost of goods, to buying our medicine. Like, can we afford it?
Yeah.
But they're spending $1 to $2 billion on this drug that's going to be amazing,
right.
Yeah.
But just let the patient have some insulin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to clarify, GLP-1 is not an insulin. I wasn't referring to that, but I was just saying, like, even diabetic patients that need insulin, it's like $600 a vial.
Yeah.
And like the population that's requiring insulin, they're older, retired population.
Yeah, they're on a limited income.
Exactly. They can't afford $600 for insulin.
So then what happens?
A cascade downhill effect of secondary complications.
I'm just not going to buy it.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. But, that keeps the hospitals buzzing.
Excuse me.
Bless you. It keeps the insurance claims coming, I don't know. Why do so many chronic disease or diagnoses exist instead of the cure for those diagnoses? Those diagnoses have been around a long time. You mean to tell me that we still don't have cures for, like, ALS and Alzheimer's and cancer? Like, you can't tell me that we don't have something cutting edge, but we can come out with a vaccine in record time.
So funny enough that you mentioned all those things together. I haven't looked into it, but like while we're on conspiracies, I had seen this physician had come across one of my feeds, and he was saying that, like, there have been known studies for tobacco use to be a cure and treatment for those things. But tobacco is grown in the ground and it's natural, and so it doesn't benefit pharmaceutical companies. So I don't know if there's any fact to that, but it was just interesting that you said those things. So it's something to look into. I'm gonna have to look into that. So what about hormones? You see a lot of hormone
I feel like there's an uptick.
treatment.
Like that's what keeps me in business is hormone therapy mainly. I mean, and a mixture of weight loss, but so many people having hormonal issues in their early 20s, like men that are coming in that are 21, 20, I think is probably the lowest I've seen was the age of a male with a truly low testosterone, less than 100.
Yeah.
Like, and guidelines say anything less than 300 is, hypogonadism. Well, why is a 21-year-old at around 100?
Well, he's just trying to bulk. He's just trying to bodybuild and build muscles.
Yeah, he's doing something on the
There's
side.
no way to fake those lab results.
No.
There's no way.
Even in your 30s, I feel like men should not have, their testosterone should not be tanked.
Yes.
Like, if you think about what optimal is, most of my men are between like 800 and the highest I'll ever allow them to go is like 1400.
Yeah.
But if they feel fine, great. Why are we sitting at 100? Especially these kids that I've had a few come in, they're healthy. They lift weights, they try to do all the right things, but it's like, your testosterone's 116. Why? You would look at them, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. And it led them into my office because they were being dismissed as far as symptoms. The symptoms weren't adding up that it was a hormonal problem. It was an anxiety problem. It was a depression problem. It was a genetic problem. It was all in your head problem. Mm-hmm. Like, it was not related to that this individual's hormones could be depleted because of our environment.
Exactly.
And why am I seeing more of these people? Why am I seeing more men younger? Like, I just feel like you didn't see that.
So let's talk on all the hormone disrupting, known, proven, hormone disrupting things in our environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
The BPAs, the plastics, everything is plastic. Our water bottles, our
Tupperware,
our spatulas, like you mentioned before, like just melting as you're cooking the food. Those pieces of plastic are being dissolved into our food, right? So we're consuming all the microplastics. You hear about microplastics. Well, that's where that goes to, like the BPAs. And there's known studies that saying that they deplete our estrogen, cause infertility, PCOS, metabolic dysfunction, right? So all these prevalent things. The parabens in our personal care product. So we drink our bottled water. We cook our breakfast with our plastics. Then we get ready for work. We shower. We use our highly scented shampoo, conditioner, body wash. We get out. We put our highly scented lotion on, our highly scented deodorant,
toothpaste.
Then we put in our clothes that we washed with our highly scented
detergent.
Yeah. And then the detergent alone wasn't enough fragrance in it. So let's throw in the beads,
Like, how many things are we exposing ourselves to?
So then we're wearing all those. And then we have our household cleaning products full of glyphosate and other chemicals that are known hormone disruptors, right? And then we go to get in our car, walk through our yard that's sprayed with pesticides. Or better yet, we pay somebody to come in once a month or once every 3 months to spray our house with pesticides to keep the insects out of our house, right? Or I saw something that said the human race is like, we're the only ones that would spray a poison on our food to keep other things from eating it, and then we eat it. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
That's so true. I'm like, how was I so dumb to never think of that?
Yeah.
So then, going back to the cooking, like the nonstick pans, those the chemicals and stuff released from them, the PFAs and the cookware, with the PFAs, those have like a long acting half-life. So what that means is like when we consume them, like they're forever chemicals. Like our bodies don't break them down and eliminate them. Like they stay in our body.
Yeah. You can't tell me that's
so
not
it's-
disruptive.
Yes. And then how much like in the food itself, like the preservatives and antibiotic fed, whatever other things we are injecting our meats with before we eat it.
Yeah.
So then that makes me wonder, it's like the GLP-1s are so effective, right? But the way that they're effective is they make us want to eat less. So then that makes me wonder, like, how much of it is really because of the GLP-1 in itself versus us eating less of the poison?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's just something to think about. But all these things cause known thyroid issues, metabolic dysfunction, and infertility. Main booming things in the medical industry. Infertility is a
big thing now.
Very profitable
specialty
yes, within medicine today. I even seen one. It was like there's a study done on like the material of women's underwear.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like they say to wear cotton underwear, that the polyester is also a hormone disruptor and is being linked to infertility.
And that's in a lot of our clothes.
Yes.
Undergarments.
Yes. Yeah.
Like all of these things contribute, like Jess said, to insulin resistance and weight gain and dysregulation. And we're seeing more and more and more of that. Like I was just telling you, like kept this business alive on basically cash pay hormone patients because insurance will not cover for hormone therapy long term. But I don't remember. I feel like years ago you'd see more patients for high blood pressure and diabetes, and which those are all still there, right? But you didn't have this. This didn't like rear its head where it was obvious that there was a problem.
Right.
But now measuring 70-year-old patients' labs versus 21-year-old males, like they shouldn't be, that 70-year-old should not have higher testosterone than this 21-year-old male.
Right.
But the 70-year-old lived in a different time.
Right. Yeah. Whereas more, I don't want to say more self-sufficient it was, but like
let's process things.
Right.
They were more natural at their natural state or original state.
I guarantee you they had their own garden at home. They probably weren't spraying with pesticides and stuff. They would just take their loss. The bug ate their tomato. They just chunked that tomato in the woods and grabbed the fresh one, right?
Right. Yep. Yeah. So aging isn't just aging. It's not just I'm just getting older or the way that you feel is just getting older. There are things in our environment that are speeding that up. Right. And whether you can't tell on the outside, it's happening on the inside. Things are progressing because of our environment, our lifestyle, the daily stressors that we deal with. Like all of these things drive our hormones down. Right. The chronic stress about the economy and what's going on in the world. It's just what we're exposed to, I feel like. And the endocrine society realizes and they acknowledge that these things that you just mentioned are endocrine disruptors. Then the National Institute of Health, they've done researches that show reproductive and metabolic effects from these things that are still available.
As I drink out of my plastic cup every day.
I think about that too. I'm like, could I go plastic free? Let's start with the Tupperware first. Let's just get rid of that. Then I'm like, how many glass things are going to be broken?
Oh, yeah.
When my kid loves the dishwasher or that I'm going to draw. But I don't know, like you have to really make effort and spend money and time to get away from those things.
Right. Because the plastic is so much more affordable than the glass. Like said, they make it, you said earlier, they make it so expensive to be more natural and healthy, right? Like
it's almost impossible.
Yes, almost impossible.
Instead, we overmedicate.
I guess if you look at it as an investment, and we're not saying all these things will cure all of your issues or fix all your hormones, but if we wanted to try like the least invasive things first, like considered, what if the hormones, your hormone dysregulation is related to the plastic, right? So yes, it costs 10, 15, $20 more for the glass Tupperware as opposed to the plastic Tupperware. But how much money do you save buying the glass on medicines, lab work, doctor's visits?
Yep.
Like,
that adds up.
So yeah, it costs a little bit more, but like consider it an investment, right?
Right. Yeah. In your health. Yep. Instead, we as providers, and I say we because we're all guilty of it, we just over medicate to fix one issue instead of getting to the root cause, and that we know where the sources are. You know, why not fix the root cause instead of just throwing medicines at people? So,
and then as far as like the pesticides too, while we're on conspiracies, you know, there was before dandelion was used for a lot of medical holistic medicines, you know, dandelions was a treatment for like high blood pressure. Whenever we started getting blood pressure medications manufactured, produced, well, they started looking like, how do we compete with
a plant?
A dandelion, something that grows naturally in your front yard. Like nobody's going to want to buy this medicine when they have it growing in their yard. So then it was determined suddenly that a dandelion is a weed. So now they want you to kill that weed with a weed killer. Go buy a Roundup, spray it all over your front yard, spray these pesticides to kill our competitor and in turn also make you sicker.
Yeah.
You know, so now you have to buy our medicine for your blood pressure and whatever other elements that dandelion would be. Now, now you've got all these pesticides and you've got all these other health repercussions that also feed back to the big pharma.
Right. Yeah. It's one big vicious cycle. That's why you can't tell me that the government does not know. Lay people know, and we have suspicion. Yeah.
Right.
We're left in the dark, I feel like. But our job as providers are not to keep you sick. It's the whole point of doing this episode was to kind of give our take on conspiracy from a medical aspect, but also make you more aware that these things exist so you can make better choices for you and your family based on this data that we're presenting to you, you know.
Right.
So are we saying, you know, you need to stop all those things? Minimizing them would be good. We talked about things that can help with the root cause of what we're seeing.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to we live in a society like where you're not going to be able to completely eliminate all these things, but limit your exposure, cut back on some of the things that you can, you know, so use glass instead of plastics, never heat up plastic. Don't reheat your food in the microwave on a plastic plate or a plastic bowl, you know, drink filtered water instead of bottled water. Don't use pesticides, you know, try to do fragrance free things, avoid parabens, get rid of all the plastic cookware, just little things like that are in your control. Now, if they're dumping chemtrails of pesticides and other chemicals on us, you can't control that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But help yourself by getting rid of your polyester underwear and wearing cotton. You know, like help yourself.
Make little changes.
Make little changes that you can within your control. Quit paying $10 for a coffee that comes in a plastic cup. Like make it at home. So
yeah, right. Put it in your ceramic mug.
Yes.
You know, it's more convenient for providers to deal with chronic disease, illnesses that we know, rather than investigate the root cause or the prevention of those things. Like we're just so busy. We've got to see this high volume of people and you've got all these 10 million questions, you know, preventing and telling you about these things is the last thing we're going to talk about. If we ever talk about it in an exam room with you, you know, these things affect your health.
Right. This is a 30-minute list of things that we can go through and eliminate and the rationale behind why we want to eliminate it. Well, you have 15 minutes when you're in here.
Yeah.
In this chair.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say depending on where you go.
So we're not trying to keep anyone sick. Providers aren't. I don't, like you've said before, I don't know anyone that got into this profession thinking that or had, you know.
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't know a single nurse, doctor, nurse practitioner, respiratory therapists. I don't know a single person in the medical field that ever said, you know what? I want to go into the medical business so that I can make people sick and become rich from people being sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody goes in to this profession with good, pure intentions, I believe.
Right.
You know, but we're just limited to what we're taught. Right. So that goes into another conspiracy, you know.
Why isn't it in part of our curriculum to know?
Well, and then that goes into the other conspiracy of like, there's this big known family or business organization, whatever you want to call it, that got rich from the oil industry. So then they want to invest their money in other areas. So then they have control of some food in the food industry. So then they also have medicine, right? So then they also start dabbling in medicine. Well, once they start dabbling in medicine, they're like, well, how can we make this medicine more profitable?
Right.
Oh, I know. Let's fund this university, but give this university the stipulation that they have to teach our curriculum that we want these doctors to be taught.
Based on the research we funded.
Correct. Based on the research we funded. So then you go in and you're going to med school, or you're going to get your master's, and this curriculum that you're being taught is saying like, hey, these are the medications that you need to treat this, 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 and this. And there is, I'm not saying like medicine
that's not
is bad or that everything that we are taught is just a crock. You know, like, but it's just things to, if we want to step back and look at it, if there is something that comes out that says, this medicine is killing people, but you were prescribing it, you know, so you were wanting to give this medicine. You knew this medicine was terrible and you wanted to give it to this patient so this patient would have to come back. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, that wasn't our intention at all.
Right.
Prevention isn't profitable. We work in an industry where prevention is not profitable.
Right.
You know, chronic disease and illness is profitable. And that's what we treat on a daily basis, you know, and there's more and more of that. So it, you know, just like you said, it all kind of goes back to who's got their hands in the pot.
There's a conflicts of interest in certain areas. There's lots of room for improvement in medicine.
Yep.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of good in medicine. There's a lot of effective medications. There's a lot of patients with chronic illnesses that you come up with a treatment plan and they come back and things are improving. So medicine works for sure. We're not saying that.
Yeah. In the right context.
But how much things are in the environment versus things being given to you by providers that's making you sicker.
Yeah. We didn't even get into how insurance plays a role in all this too, because they throw a kink in things too.
We keep talking about insurance. Whew, that episode is coming.
It's coming
for sure. We gotta get our
thoughts
literature
together
and our thoughts and our
there's
facts together.
It's overwhelming amount of things that we hear and see on a daily that insurance dictates in our day-to-day job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. All right. Anything else on conspiracies? I think we hit all the high points.
I think we did hit the high points.
Yeah.
So, all this to say, once again, just to clarify, I stand right in the middle. I think I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist or what have you. And I don't think that all medicine is perfect, but I stand right in the middle, and I feel like there are holistic, natural, least invasive changes that we can make for your health. And I feel like there's a time when you need medications, you need hormone replacement therapy for your health.
Well, I agree. Well, that wraps up episode 5. If you have any kind of conspiracies you want us to talk about, or, you know, we can maybe do a segment or something on it, because there's way more. And there's probably more that our listeners have in mind that we didn't mention. But yeah, I think it was a good topic to talk on. There was a lot.
And I bet we could come up with a lot more.
Yeah.
We could probably do episode 2, 3. 3 or 4 more episodes on conspiracies and
Right.
metal fragments and baby formula, stuff like that. So let us know if y'all want us to do another episode on conspiracies, and we'll get another one together for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
That
Till
wraps
next
up.
time.
Till next time.